Hi everyone, David A. Cox here with PCClassesOnline.com. It is February of 2015. It's time for my little monthly video blog where I give you all a few little updates that have happened, and also we're going to do a Q&A segment. So the first update I have for all of you is that last month we were able to raise $400 to help support Doctors Without Borders. That is part of our Supporting Sundays program, where if you watch any of our classes on Sundays, we will devote 50% of our ad revenue to a different charity every single month. So thank you to those of you who watched on Sundays, and it's a good thing to know for the future. Now this month we had intended on donating the money towards the Wounded Warrior Project. And as I was alerted by many of you out there, I have found that there is a very large amount of money with the Wounded Warrior Project that seems to go towards overhead. And I'm not so okay with that. I really want to make sure that the majority of the money is going towards the people who need it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of adjust a little bit. We're going to devote the money towards a very similar charity that does almost the exact same work. It's just that more of the money is going to go to actually help the people who need the benefit. So that's a little minor update I did need to give you. Next thing I want to announce is we have a brand new employee who's going to be starting with us. Starting in March of 2015, Mark Collier is going to be joining our team full-time. Mark Collier is an expert at WordPress. He's great at Photoshop and graphic design, logo design, and Mark's going to be able to offer his own tutorial videos through our channel. So for those of you who want to do something a little bit more complex with your website, hopefully his tutorial videos are going to really help you. And then the final update that I have before the Q&A segment is I've been getting a lot of messages from all of you about Yosemite. Is it ready? Is it finally fixed? Is it good to go? The answer is I think so. There's some hesitation there in case you didn't pick up on that. But Yosemite has definitely been a little bit like Apple's version of Vista, in my opinion. But I think that pretty much most of the bugs have been figured out by now. I'm still having a couple minor issues, but they're pretty minor. So you're welcome to upgrade. It's got my seal of approval, sort of. And the one thing I want to just kind of advise all of you is that if you do decide to upgrade, please make sure all of your software and your hardware is compatible, especially printers and scanners. So make sure that there's a driver available for whatever you may have. So let's say you have a Canon printer, you're going to want to go to Canon's website, make sure there's a driver that is listed for Yosemite, also known as OS 10.10, and if you see that there, it's a good indication that it should work just fine. So now what I want to do is earlier this month, I put out a little message on Twitter, on Facebook, and on our Google Plus page, asking all of you to throw me your questions. Could be about me personally, could be about PC Classes Online, could be about technology in general, really whatever you want. So in no particular order, here are some of the questions that you guys submitted. So the first one came from Sarah W. in California. When did you begin to have the idea to make PC Classes Online? Well, I'll tell you, Sarah, if you've ever been to our YouTube channel, you may have noticed that the actual URL is not PC Classes Online. It's youtube.com/TechTalkAmerica. The history behind that is that we used to be a podcast. It was myself and two other people, and we did a weekly show all about technology, teaching people how to better use what they already own. The problem is that you can't really teach technology without having a visual component. So after about a year, it became really apparent it just was not going to work. We decided to abandon the podcast and move it over to what is now PC Classes Online. Next question came from Susan Dupre. I didn't get a location from her. I see old Mac computers behind you in your videos. How old is your oldest one? Well, actually, if you look over my left shoulder here, that is a Macintosh Plus from 1985, and that was mine. Specifically my dad's. I was 2 at the time, so wasn't quite making enough money to pay for a computer. But that's the computer that I originally learned on. Of course, that was before Photoshop. Back then we had Reader Rabbit, Space Invaders, and Paint Shop, I think. So yeah, there you go. And believe it or not, it actually does still turn on. I have a few other vintage Macs here. I have a vintage iMac over here, a G4 Cube, and a whole bunch of the original iBook G4s. Thanks to eBay. Next question is from Samuel from Mumbai, India. How big is the team of PC Classes Online, and do you have an editing crew to make your videos? No, we have a very, very small crew. It's basically myself. I do all of the design for the classes themselves. of course, the production of it. I do all the post-production, including editing. And then Alan Galan is our general manager. He handles all the kind of paperwork, the back-end work. He also helps me with the lighting and sound design for our videos, which we're trying to improve a little bit right now. We have Chip Capelli, who's our accountant, Mark Collier, who's our web designer, and until recently I had an assistant, Ernie Polgardi, who helped with our communication with the public. We're changing some things up. Ernie's not going to be with us anymore, but he's been a great part of the PC Classes Online family. Next question came in from Roger T. from Sawmills, North Carolina. Is it true you really work for Apple and make people love their products? Unfortunately, no, I do not work for Apple. If I did, I'd probably be driving a slightly better car than what I do drive. I just love their products. I have grown up with them. I actually was a PC guy for a while and just got frustrated with the whole virus thing and switched over to Mac and never went back. So as the saying goes. Next question is from Katie from Alberta, Canada. Is that your real eye color or do you actually wear contact lenses? They're real. I get that question probably every day during the summer, not so much in the winter for some reason, but I'm actually blind as a bat when I'm recording these videos. I can see about to here without much problem. Beyond that, I can't see a damn thing. So right now I'm looking at a black box and I think it's a camera. So I've been told. Next question is from Karen D. Didn't get a location from Karen. If you could sit down with Steve Jobs, what question would you ask him? It's a great question. Believe it or not, I probably wouldn't ask him anything. I would just listen. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment. If you have questions you want to ask me for next month's little video blog, you can leave them in the comments section below, or of course you can leave them on Twitter, Facebook, or our Google Plus page. This is David A. Cox with PC Classes Online. See you later. Take care.